Day one of the Kansas City Chiefs OTA period is officially in the books. So at least the first one in terms of open media. We have brand new footage, highlights, news, notes, observations, and takeaways from day one. And in this video, we're going to cover everything that you need to know in regards to Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and all of the guys here trying to, make their first impression on the coaching staff. Now, before we jump into the video, I actually want you guys to do me a big favor and comment down below which one of these players are you most excited to see, one, but two, who do you think will make the biggest impact this season in terms of a newcomer, whether it's a Hollywood Brown, an Xavier Worthy, the left tackle Kingsley in the second round draft pick, or one of the new safeties, Jay and Hicks, Kamal Hayden. Who do you think will have the biggest impact day one? And with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video a little bit. Now, the first thing to note, because I know you guys are probably, so interested and so invested in Xavier Worthy, he was at practice. However, he was in sweats, no helmet, kind of just not practicing with the team fully. Now, I don't really know too much about this as of right now. I'm very curious to see what, Andy Reid has to say. It's probably something that's precautionary, something you probably won't need to, worry about too much. But obviously, keep your eye on it. We're not really participating during Wednesday's OTAs, but doesn't mean he's hurt. Maybe it's just a sense of soreness in some part of his body. So I wouldn't be too worried about Xavier Worthy. I think he will be fine. But what we did see was a lot of Hollywood Brown, man, wearing that number 5. Looks really good, man. So I think Xavier Worthy wearing, I believe, number 1. Hollywood Brown wearing number 5. Looks pretty good. And then you have, obviously, Rashee Rice, who's going to be wearing number 4. So you got all single digits right there in the starting 3 wide receivers. Definitely excited to see how some of these guys continue to progress over the next couple of weeks. We've also got to see the new backup quarterback in town, man. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is here, man. Shout out to Carson Wentz. Got a job again, backing up Patrick Mahomes. Probably the best job in football in America, probably in the world even, maybe, right? Imagine getting paid money to watch Mahomes play football every day. Yeah, that's probably definitely a fun job. So got to see a little bit of him getting to work, man. Working with the twos a little bit. What else did we see? We saw, Brian Cook, man. Good to see Brian Cook finally back on the field. First time, I believe, since the injury actually took place. So definitely good to see him getting back onto the field. I didn't see Kadarius Toney. That was one thing I took note of in any of the highlights and any of the what the media posted today. Didn't see too much of Kadarius Toney. Not really too not too sure what was with that, but did see Justin Watson. Justin Ross was there. Sky Moore needs to take a big jump up this year, man. He's slowly, I'm not saying a bust, but he's slowly turning into a guy that they really don't need anymore with Hollywood and Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. It's becoming something that, maybe he just starts to lose a lot of, work going forward in this offense. And maybe that's not a terrible thing. I think they got 4 or 5 really good wide receivers that you can trust on a daily basis out here as long as they develop the right way. So you got to continue to see what these guys can do. I think, a guy who's in really good shape to make a big jump up this year is Justin Ross, man. I think especially with Rashee Rice potentially facing a suspension, not sure if that will happen this year, maybe even next year. I think Justin Ross really has to take that next step up, and I think he's a guy that has all the potential in the world, just needs to find that consistency, and I think he can do it here this season. So we'll see what continues to go on over the next few weeks. I believe Wanya Morris was at practice today as well. We all know he was going through some things in terms of I think he went through something in terms of being arrested for a second, but I think he's fine. Looks like he's back out here practicing with the team. Let me just make sure, because I don't want to give you guys false information. But yeah, so Wanya Morris, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Brian Cook, Patrick Mahomes, all there. Also, good to see Louis Rees-Zammit. He was out there, and Sky Moore still catching punts. Xavier Worthy, again, told you he was out. No sign of Kadarius Toney. But man, I am excited for Louis Rees-Zammit. Now, I don't know what his role is going to be from day one, but I'll tell you what, if you can get the football in this guy's hands, he's going to be a threat to score on almost every single play, man. He's athletic, He is, versatile, brings a new dynamic to this team, especially on special teams. Now that you have a new kind of kick return, I'm not saying you'll be your day one kick returner because, you have a guy like Deneric Prince or Montreal Washington, even Xavier Worthy or Kadarius Toney could be some good return men as well. But I wouldn't be too surprised at all if you start to see Louis Rees-Zammit start to gain more traction in terms of being a full-time return man. I think he's just one of those guys that offers you a ton of upside, a lot of upside. So overall, there's not going to be too much to talk about here in day one of these highlights, just because no pads, no contact yet. Now, before we get any further, I need you guys to do me a big favor. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Chiefs throughout it all. Everything you guys need to know, including highlights, news, notes, observations. We got you guys covered. OTAs, minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular season. Got you guys covered. Join the family if you haven't already done so. There's not much more to talk about in this video, just because nothing crazy happened. Again, no pads. There's a little bit of teamwork here. I'm excited for the DB room, actually. They brought in a guy in Kelvin Joseph who I think could take a major step up. And another big question is who's going to be that number 3, that number 4 guy in terms of the cornerback room. Nazeeh Johnson is the guy I love. I think Nazeeh Johnson is going to step up and make a big-time contribution right away. And then Kelvin Joseph is another guy I think can make a big impact. Again, won't really know too much about that until, again, we get more into the pads and the one-on-ones and 11-on-11, 7-on-7s, contact. Once those start to happen, we'll start to learn a lot more. So make sure you guys do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. Hopefully tomorrow we have a lot more news and notes and observations from practice and the Chiefs. So make sure you guys join the family. Let me know who you guys are most excited to see going forward. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's part 2 Chiefs update, and I'll see you guys then, man. Peace.